Hello, everyone. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, and I am bringing you your till the end of the year reading. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take the cards and we're going to go ahead and shuffle them. And apparently, my phone just turned off, but we're also going to be looking at the transits till the end of the year as well. And we're going to be looking at a lot of different energies. So, firstly, I want to start off with my intuitive portion of the reading. And you know what? Let me move this just a little bit this way. Yeah, there we go. Now we got a little bit more area. So, I'm going to go into my messages, go over to me. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read the intuitive portion of this reading. And these are just the things that I got while I was meditating on the sign of Capricorn and trying to see, generally what energies were abounding. I'm going to draw a color first. Since the base energy is 4, I'm going to draw the 4th color. And then I'm also going to draw the 8th color because the octave energy or the doubled energy is 8. So, number 4 and number 8. Cool. Then I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side. I also have 2 stones here that I got. One of them is euconite. As you can see, it's a reddish, greenish color. Very interesting. I'll go ahead and describe that here in a bit. And then this stone right here was a stone that I got while I was doing a moon ritual. It's actually the larger stone, so it has to deal with the full moon. So I'll go ahead and move these things off to the side. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and shuffle the affirmations deck, just simply because the affirmations deck will tie up this whole reading and give us a general affirmation for till the end of the year. I was going to say the whole month, but till the end of the year. And oh, look at that. One's already popping out. I am at peace with who I am as a person. Maybe that might play a role in this whole thing. So let's just keep that in mind. I am fine with who I am as a person. Are you fine with who you are as a person, Capricorn? Because there's a lot that's been happening in the sign of Capricorn in terms of Pluto. So we're going to go ahead and take this. We're going to go ahead and put it underneath here. And you know what? I should go ahead and put this over here where it's visible. Or we can just leave it there and let it do its thing, right? So I'm also going to draw one Fairies Oracle deck card. And I am going to put it over here. And I'm going to put it under the carnelian, the red carnelian that I have right here. Such a beautiful stone. As you can see, it's translucent and everything. Has a lot of color to it. The carnelian is a sign of strength. It's a sign of power. It's a very, very nice stone to have. And so for that, what I'm going to do is, so the singer of initiation and the singer of intuition. So the energy is split in between them two. And that's what this reading is going to be about mostly, is intuition and initiation. So generally, when it comes to this energy here, the energy of Capricorn that I was feeling till the end of the year has a lot to do with bits and pieces and shuffling things, shuffling through things. And a lot of it has to do with the energies of having a lot of things to do and having to handle a lot of things. The Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this deck. I'm going to take one card from it as well. And whatever card comes out, I'm going to put it under the nephrite jade that I have. It's actually a pretty beautiful stone. This stone came to me during the time when release was necessary. So that's going to be one stone that's going to be right here. And whatever card, I don't know what card that is, but we're going to go ahead and put the nephrite jade and place it there. These cards right here should wrap up the whole reading. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, actually, what I should do is take these cards here, and I'm going to draw two of them, and then we're going to see what angel number or what gate number pops up for us, and we'll go ahead and see how that ties into the whole reading afterwards. So, one, and if we draw a joker, well, then that means that, well, it's a wild card, right? So that means that whatever these cards reveal will be wild card energies. So now that we have our two cards, I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. I believe this is azultite. I'm not exactly sure, but it's very good for intuition. It's very good for drawing out the energies of intuition. And so we'll go ahead and leave that there. So as I start to shuffle these cards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and read my notes while I go ahead and lay out the cards month by month. And as I speak, the energies of these months shall play themselves through. And we'll go ahead and see how each month is connected. I'll go ahead and roll some die near the end to see how that connects to each of the cards, where they land, and what's being shown for me. And also, I'll be looking at it from your perspective as well to see what it shows you. So, with that being said, let's get underway. As I mentioned, bits and pieces, having shuffled through things, having a lot to handle. And generally, the key here is bits and pieces, but to have complete focus on each task. Now, left things or left items are part of the agenda. Your ankles might be an important thing. So keep an eye on your ankles. Also, the ankles are, if I'm not mistaken, a space between Aquarius and Pisces. So if you have any planets between Aquarius and Pisces, or an MC in Pisces, or an MC between Aquarius and Pisces, then, like on the cusp, then this is going to be an important message for you too. Generally, this reading should be for all the energies of Capricorn. Um, Anybody who has planets in Capricorn, anybody who is a Capricorn, anybody who has a stellium in Capricorn, or whatever house your Capricorn sits in, this will be a very important reading for you guys. So base energy. Another thing that I was looking at was the spotlight or spotlighting. Not sure if it's happening for all Capricorns, but for at least myself and two other Capricorns that I know of, there's a raising of the frequency, the raising of vibrations. Has a lot to do with uh, Leo energy, and this Leo energy is a very, very important energy because what's happening is that we're flipping from Aquarian type energy and Aquarian type zodiacal calculations to Leo. And so when it comes to Leo, what we see is a more charismatic energy. We see a more, how would I put it? It's a more outgoing energy. I'll go ahead and take a look at, I don't know if I had it here. I don't think I do. But I was talking to an AI, and that AI was describing the energies of Leo, where Leos would be drawn to stages. Leo would be drawn to areas where they can shine bright, where they can showcase their skills and things like that. So when it came to that energy, I resonated with that energy rather well, just simply because of the fact that that's what I felt. Now, some of you guys might be feeling artistically inclined, lyricism, music production, um, artistry of some kind. And if you do feel that pull, I'll say go with it. It is a pull from the universe to have you not just step out of your comfort zone, but also to help you to understand your skills, your abilities, and how to put them out into the world. So the general idea is that because you're holding that higher perspective, you're waiting for the perfect time, you're waiting for the perfect moment. And as I was doing the intuitive portion, I ran into the base energy of 4, at the octave energy of 8, and also as I was going through that energy, I had the letter C pop up. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the letter C. Hello there. You are tuning into the Capricorn reading. Right now, I am laying out the cards for the month of for the till the end of the year for Capricorn. You guys can't really see the cards right here, but I'll go ahead and show them to you afterwards. And so, continuing on, the letter C was a very, very interesting thing because I've never seen letters before, so that's gonna play a role somehow. And when I thought about the letter C, I was thinking of things like curiosity, confidence, um, courage, collapse, and I feel that with the energies of Pluto and Capricorn for the last 15 years, there's been a lot going on in terms of building that courage. Also, the energy of curiosity, because when you think about curiosity in the sense of moving forward into some unknown portion of or space of anything, then you have to understand that there's the energy of curiosity. There is necessity for the energy of confidence and courage. If you think about the journey of Alice in Wonderland, which features a lion, then you would understand that the lion had the courage embedded within him the whole time. He just needed to be shown that he had that courage. And so, with that being said, with everything that you've experienced, Capricorn, I very much feel that you have that courage within you. It's just you were never really shown it. And so the universe had to show you in a way that you understood. And it had to show you in a way where, when you really think about it, the energies would draw you to understand, hey, I am powerful, right? I am courageous. I am this. I am that. And so, here in the month of, here in the month of September, you've understood this. You've understood the energies of what people have been telling you. You understand the energies of how that plays a role in what you tell yourself, how that either lowers your frequency or how that higher it. And whereas before it made you indecisive, you now understand the ideas of not just your feelings and gauging your feelings around what's actually going to take place. So the general idea behind this reading is that you're protected by the angels, first off, and you have the energies of creative communication that are flowing through you. So take advantage of those energies. The general idea, though, is that when you have this creative flow from either intuition or contemplation and meditation on an everyday level, which is the numbers 376. The idea is that this base energy is 7. So when you think about 7, 7 is connected to the singer of intuition, and it's also connected to the numbers of God or the numbers of divinity. The general notion, though, is that if you have this type of energy, it's based off of energy of analysis and reanalysis and understanding how to move forward in things. In the month of October, you have 7-7. So whatever it is that you've been doing as far as your work in September, it's going to play a big role. Um, and when you think about it, it's going to lead to a clear discernment in December. I don't know if you're going to be like in the space for it. I feel like in a way, there's going to be some fear that comes in November, whatever that fear may be. And I feel like there's a necessity for you to block it off, just simply because if you're honest with yourself, then you can have that clear discernment about everything else. And so, yeah, this reading really is about yourself. It's about understanding yourself. It's about knowing yourself. And when it comes to knowing yourself, well, there's only certain things that you can do in order to do that. And that's through meditation and contemplation of your situation, but also meditation upon that which you need to do in order to get to where you need to go, right? So, if we take a look at the information for the months coming up, there's going to be something that you need to move away from. But I feel like you might have just a little bit of trouble. The numbers 515, moving forward with changes, even if it's the 80-20 rule, is going to be very important. Trying new things and implementing them into your life. So turning something that's knowledge into wisdom is going to be key. Gate 22 is connected to this reading in the sense that Gate 22 is the gate of grace, and how you move through different situations and how you act is going to play a big role in how this energy manifests throughout the months. So, so when it comes to the energies of Gate 22, it helps you to move forward. It helps you to feel. It helps you to understand what it is that you're dealing with, and at the same time, it helps you to understand how to make a decision. Right? You have Pluto going into Aquarius soon enough, and when it comes into Aquarius, it's going to be in our second house. The energies of the second house deal with decision making, deals with values, and so the energies that are in Taurus right now are going to be displayed ever more. And we want to make sure that whatever it is that we have is running off of integrity, is running off of honesty, as you can see here, and self-honesty. That's what it means when it's in the reverse. But I'll be reading the card descriptions here in a minute so that as we go through the months, I'll go ahead and read them and we can get a clear energy of what's going on. Oh, okay, so then I drew 2 cards there. Let me get one more for the month of October. All right, so that's good. All right, so gate 8, the gate of contribution, how you express whatever it is that you've learned, your experiences and things like that are going to play an important role. Not sure if it's connected to Chiron in your charts, but go ahead and see where Chiron is in your charts, and you'll find out what you come to a certain knowledge of, and then from there, take a look at Venus, to find out how that expression happens, because that expression is going to be sometime in December, and I feel like when it comes to December, it's going to be a very, very good month, just simply off of the cards that I'm looking at. And that's all. Part of it's going to be based on the energies of November. So I feel like there's going to be certain things that you're going to be uh, learning in November, and it's going to play its role in how December really changes everything. Yeah, I feel like it's going to change quite a bit just simply because of the fact that you have the Chariot at the bottom. So it's a very, very interesting notion to see these cards. The sequence number 345 is a sign that there's a step-by-step process starting from creativity or this unique perspective and continuing on through pragmatic and persistent work. So yes, you have to struggle a little bit longer, Capricorn, but here's the thing. When you do that and you run off your intuition, what ends up happening is things become better. You actually find ways to choose to be happy rather than waiting to be chosen to be happy, right? And so when you think about this energy here, what we see is the building of a very strong character, the building of a very strong individual. And the changes that result from that should be positive in nature if one strives to maintain a positive outlook. Um, this requires that Capricorn be sure of what it is that they wish to create. That's going to be connected to the creation, and that's the month of November. And let's see, something connected to what makes them happy, and to be sure of their decision. So Jupiter will be playing a guiding role, and our values shining through in our ventures and work ethic. Uranus and Taurus will also aid in making it unique. So the energies of Taurus are going to be very, very strong for us till the end of the year. And for whatever reason, they may actually play themselves out in November as well. November and December. And that's actually a very interesting idea. Never really thought about what it is that that might be happening in November and December. Haven't really had the chance to think, but let's see. Let's draw a couple more cards. Angel number 99. Actually, 99 is one of the numbers that came out for the intuitive reading. So let me go and continue on. So if you build it, he will come. Who? Who knows? Angel investors. It could be other people, right? Thing is, we don't know until we build it. And I feel that that's what's happening. We're building it during these next 3 months. Um, Actually, it's already been in the process of building, but the idea generally is that if we take that energy and we run with it, what ends up happening is we end up finding those different ways of being able to put it out. So earlier in the months prior to the energies that I just read, this was from like September 11th. The notes that I have right here were from a little later. Standing alone as a rock and gazing out to the horizon. New things await. Slow and steady progress towards one's dreams has been the theme, as I was mentioning. And slow and steady progress is the key here. And having to juggle many things all at once has been the way it was done, right? So for those who preserved, you may have noticed that things have gotten just a little bit lighter since September 10th. It's an odd feeling this morning, or it's an odd feeling that morning, as the road has been tough. Many have gotten bogged down by many things having to do with personal power, personality, and how people see you and how you express yourself. Various influences from you, yourself, family, to friends and various acquaintances have tumbled you. So now comes the polish, right? Refinement has been in the works for those who have done the inner work. So Gates 21. I don't know if that was if that's something that's interesting here. Yeah. Okay. So for the month of November, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that gate. Um, Gate 19. Do I see any 19s here? No, I don't see any 19s. So I don't think gate 19 is an important factor here. Let's see. Gate 17. Do I see any 17s in here? I see a 16, but no, not really a 17. Okay, so there's really no 17 here, except for maybe if I take the Jack of what is it? The Jack of no, Jacks are considered 11s, huh? Okay, so then that would be 18. No, I don't see any 17s here. Okay, one of the things that came out was gate 56, the gate of stimulation. So how you creatively put these things out. I'll go ahead and read the description here while I go ahead and put out these numbers here. Maybe, who knows, they might pop out here. Okay, so the Queen of Diamonds. That's the Queen of Wands. How many people have been feeling rather assertive lately? Like, they understand that these changes are necessary. They understand that this energy is actually an energy that has resulted from a lot of the things that we've been experiencing. And so the gated stimulation is actually playing its role in the month of September, whereas it kind of spills itself over into the month of November. I mean, yeah, the month of October. And the month of October is actually a pretty interesting one. Oh. So, gate 56, if you have it defined in your human design chart, makes a great communicator and it also makes a great storyteller. So, how many of you guys are storytellers out there? How many of you guys have started your careers in storytelling just recently? Maybe started a YouTube channel, maybe started a TikTok channel or something like that within these last couple months. And how many have been trying to do it in terms of, putting yourself out to the world and Jesus, that nine just keeps trying to pop out and trying to find some type of happiness to it, like trying to find some type of accomplishment to it. General idea is that, you know what, I don't even know if I have live chat. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the live chat there. Let me see if I could change this real quick. No, I can't. Okay. So, anyways, let's see if that guest comes through. I sent the link to a couple of people to see if they wanted to join in. Anyways, the energy of Gate 56 encourages exploration, adventure, and pursuit of new experiences. It represents a constant quest for stimulating experiences and novel narratives. So, if you have this, you'll have a keen sense of curiosity and an innate drive to experience life in all its diversity. I seen the letter C, and one of the words that popped out was curiosity. So whatever it was that I sensed in September 10th, if I'm not mistaken, was also something that I recently sensed a couple days ago when I seen the letter C. And so it's very interesting. Ooh, look at that, 9-9. So yes, when it comes to the month of September and October, they're both connected in the sense that you have the nine of diamonds here and the nine of diamonds there, but you have the nine of hearts here and the nine of spades there. We're going to go ahead and read the affirmations as we go through the months and see how they're connected as well. So I'm going to go ahead and keep reading in my notes. Okay. So basically, what Spirit was asking is that we ask what is necessary for growth. If you ask, you shall receive, right? Closed mouth does not get fed. So, in that, we have to ask for what we require for our future vision. And if we know what it is, then we have to ask for clarity. The Hermit right here in the month of November, and also next to the Justice card, really does bring out that, like, okay, what am I looking at? How do I feel about this? And how I'm going to move on it. And now come the angel numbers. 99 and 999 were two angel numbers that I had seen. They they have to do with endings and conclusions. They also have to do with um, moving forward with self-care, and they also have to do a lot with moving forward on moving forward with happiness, doing something you love. And then, of course, angel number 299. So, making the decision to move forward on something that would make you happy. But also, angel number 299 is telling you to pay attention to your intuition and to follow its guidance. A potent force is at work in your life, seeking to bring you success. So, the number 299 is made up of the vibrations of 2 and 9, which combine to create an even more potent message for you. The number 2 represents duality, balance, harmony, and partnerships, cooperation, and diplomacy. This angel number encourages you to find equilibrium between different aspects of yourself and situations in your life. Your guardian angels may be telling you that it's time to take action on something important by working with others rather than trying to do it alone. So you might view yourself as standing alone right now, but the Ace of Swords or the Ace of Spades at the bottom of the deck is basically calling you to present these new ideas and to find out how these new ideas will play their roles in your life. The month of When it comes to this energy, the month of September and October are tied, and we'll find out how. The Dragonfly, it's a card that describes a higher frequency. It describes intuition at its finest. It's a card that describes reading things between the lines and feeling the energies. The card itself, if you take a look at it, it's a very interesting one. When you look at dragonflies, they have this darting movement, right? And this, in general, tends to describe where our intuition goes or how our intuition takes us to things. It, kind of portals us to a certain location in space time. We get to see things, but maybe even for just a brief moment, and then it takes us to a different place. And from there, we're able to see the various different aspects of our lives, and then even to make the connections. I'm going to go ahead and read the dragonfly so we can find out what else we can draw from it. And it's a master of light, illusion, and the mind. So the dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, and it's always moving, shifting, and shimmering and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance, and the dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so that the light of wisdom can shine through. So, in the month of September, I feel that your mind was calm, just simply because of the fact that you had the soul shrinker here. So, various different people were telling you various different things. You weren't listening to it though. You were in your own space, and I can tell because with Indy in the reverse, you had a very very clear idea and representation in your mind about where you wanted to go. You just weren't like there yet, in the sense that you weren't ready to walk through the portal. You understood that there's various different things going on. Now, I say that you had a clear mind just simply because of the fact that you were very clear about whatever choices you were going to be making, and also you had figured out a way to release yourself from something, some mental idea that wasn't allowing you to really understand the clarity that your mind can bring to you. So, in that, you understood, okay, well, I got to do something about this. So, in the month of September, you may have been telling yourself that everything that is happening now is happening for my ultimate good. One thing that you should have been telling yourself is that though these times are difficult, they're only a short phase. Or rather, I feel like maybe Capricorn has been telling themselves, excuse me, that though these times are tough, that, it's only a short phase. But perhaps Capricorn, you guys may not have been understanding that these things were happening for your ultimate good. So numbers 9 bring endings and conclusions, yes. But 9 plus 9 is 18, which means that if you move forward with self-care and understanding how to care for yourself and how to make decisions for yourself, you'll come out on top. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands and the Five of Swords is to denote that if you can bring out this very positive, very charismatic, very Leo type energies, then what ends up happening is you have the ability to make the proper changes that need to happen in your life, but not from an egotistical manner. Because if you look at the Six of Swords, what ends up happening is that it's the woman and the child that are moving away rather than all three of them. The guy stayed back somehow, somewhere, something happened to him, and it was because of his egocentric and arrogant manner. So in the month of September, I very much feel that you're more operating in the positive aspects of the dragonfly as opposed to the negative ones. Seeing clearly, being joyful, and being magical. Now, if for instance, from now to the end of the month, you cannot concentrate or you have a busy mind, focus on your breath. Breath meditation will be very, very good for that. Generally, though, if you do that, you tend to balance out your blood because your blood pressure is affected by it. You also tend to balance out your mind because you get more oxygen to your mind. And at the same time, more oxygen to your mind can give you better concentration. So, let's look at the sea serpent and see how the month of November plays a role. Let's see. The sea serpent, yeah. Okay, so the sea serpent. So in the month of October is going to be a very interesting one for you. You have the sea serpent in the reverse. And this point stores emotional healing or healing emotional wounds and expressing your desires. So the expression of desires can take many different forms. Generally, though, when it comes for whatever reason it cut off. Okay, let's continue, right? So when it comes to this expression, we actually talked about that, and the expression happens within that expression happens with the creative aspect of it, connecting to 345. It also connects to the gate of contribution. How you express it is the gate of grace, and how you understand the energies, how you connect with people, whether you feel their energies or not. And then also, what was it? The gate of stimulation also plays a role in that as well. The gate of stimulation is very important because that's the storytelling aspect of it. So when you think about that storytelling aspect, and you think about how everything is happening, that everything that's happening now is happening for your greatest good. That's actually right here in the month of November. So the healing of your emotional wounds, you're gonna have to trust your intuition on that. And you actually have the singer of intuition in the reverse. So there is a necessity for you to use this energy of intuition to understand what it is that you have to move away from, and also at the same time understand what it is that you need in order to really understand your emotions. So I'm gonna read the book, and I'll go ahead and hold up the sea serpent card so you guys can get a good idea of what it is. So the sea serpent represents the energy of of expression. Whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire, the sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease, and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self judgment, and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. So the sea serpent is connected to the second chakra, and the subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the Svadhisthana chakra, located deep within the pelvic bowl. This chakra is known as our center of creativity and desire and is associated with the water element. Svadhisthana translates as in her own abode, indicating the chakra is the home of the Divine Mother or Kundalini herself. Now, one thing I do want to put out is that that card specifically is connected to the chakra system of the sacral. And the sacral chakra, actually, this stone here, carnelian, does connect to that, but it connects more to the Leo type energies, or we should say the Queen of Wands energies. But you know what? I think it's time for me to flip this card to see what it shows. Yep, let's go now. So Lasguna is basically describing the energies of moving forward on various different aspects of life. Lasguna, all she needs is a dream or an aspect of something in order to leap forward. Now, I do want to mention that you have two angels around you, Capricorn. Um, Archangel Michael and Archangel Haniel. Now, I feel that because there's a lot of different things going on in your life, and I feel that especially during the month of November, this energy right here of Lasguna, as well as the two angels, are going to play a big role as you move into December. Actually, in the month of November might be a time where you actually start to move things over, or start to get things going. And by the end of the year, you're already well on your way. So there's a possible third angel, and that angel might be Raphael, just simply because of the fact that this spread has to do with healing. So if we take the energies of the sea serpent and we understand them uh, as these expressing desire, but also healing emotional wounds, then we definitely do have to look at Chiron and see where Chiron is at. Right now in Aries, depending on what house it is for you, it has to do something with something like status. It also has something to do with, or status, I should say. I don't know if I was saying it wrong, but it has to do with status. It has to do with how people view you. With Pluto in the first house, people may have been bashing you in terms of like how they viewed you, what they viewed about you, worthless, whatever, right? And there was a necessity for us to understand that because we gained our power through that. So the Hermit here is there to describe that we took a look at the details. We understood things for what they were, and now we're actually getting our justice. Generally, though, our justice couldn't be had first without a sword, right? And without a wand. So the fact that there's a wand there and then that there's a sword is telling us move forward on our actions. Move forward on our thoughts. The general idea behind these cards is that, oh, and then you also have the Five of Wands right here too, in the reverse. Yes, there is a necessity for some type of compromise. I would say that because of what we've been through, we shouldn't fight. Generally, we should be coming out uh, more refined. Though we've been tumbled, we've been shined, right? And so I am at peace with all that has happened, is happening, and will happen. There's a sense of compassion there. It's not really compromise, but it's more of a sense of compassion where the changes that are necessary are happening because we understand that we're seeking our happiness now. And if we start to act arrogantly, if we start to, talk down to other people, we're not going to have that ability to be able to come with integrity, which is what December is calling for. I think one thing that we need to tell ourselves, I possess the qualities needed to be extremely successful. And that runs off of the fact that everything that is happening now is happening for our greatest good. So if we can understand that, we can actually walk away from this year, from the end of the year, a whole lot better, a whole lot more refined, and a much, much better character. I'm at peace with all that is happening and will happen. The Nine of Cups with it, or the Nine of Hearts, is one of those cards that seems to be describing that as we move through the month of October, as we understand that things are happening for our highest good, but then at the same time we understand that we're at peace with what's happened so far, with what's happening now, and what will happen in the future, then we can actually walk away that much more free spirited, that much more um, aligned with the universe, but we can also walk away with more clarity in our hearts, more clarity in our minds, and understand just how awesome, or let me see, Nine of Spades, just how like much more compelling and enticing our stories will be when we're able to tell them. You know, it's not the ones that made it up to the top easy that people listen to. It's usually the ones that had a really, really hard life, right? And so, if we keep that in mind, we actually have the ability to have bigger leaps and strides than most other people. And in that sense, we end up understanding, hey, we did this even though all of this other stuff was happening. Okay, so Epona's wild daughter's right there, but we gotta go over to the Bright Mother. So the Bright Mother is about creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, and sheltering. We talked about the sheltering aspect with the Sea Serpent, and now it's showing itself even more with the Bright Mother. But with the Singer of Intuition in the reverse, what is the sheltering? Sheltering our connection to Source. So she is the Bright Mother and of us all, and knows that all life, is a miracle. The Bright Mother is constantly amazed at its perfection in imperfections. She rejoices in its being, sorrows for its growing pains, and exults in its success. This great lady is both Earth Mother and the full bright moon. Let me go ahead and lift this card up so you can see. So, uh, she feeds us and provides us with air, water, and shelter in an amazing, complex world. She sees to it that we are challenged enough to grow, but not so much as to be overwhelmed. If we want more challenges, then she provides. We have to give them to ourselves. The Bright Mother is a guardian of family life, and she creates and holds a nurturing environment for us all. She is the garden where vegetables, fruits, and herbs grow. Thus, she sees and holds the mysteries in ordinary processes of daily life. And you know what? This card, I guess, could be also symbolic of Dimitri. If you guys know the story of Dimitri and Persephone, then you would understand agriculture and all of that stuff, and how they tie into agriculture, fruits and vegetables, and all of that. Thus, she sees and holds the mysteries in ordinary processes of daily lives: the bees making honey, the cream turning to butter, the birth of the baby and its growth, the blossom turning to fruit, and the wheat ripening. This lady has loving patience for natural processes, however slow. So, the slow process of growth is going to be playing itself out over the next 3 months and a little bit of whatever this month is left. And so, when the Bright Mother is present in the reading, she speaks of a time of fertility, creativity, and nurturing of ourselves or of others. She might indicate marriage or the birth of a child or deepening of any kind of relationship. She also speaks of giving one's all to life, not holding back. She is like a cornucopia, pouring forth abundance. This may be a time to put the needs of others first, taking care of yourself later. Patience may be needed for the process being discussed. So consider what you have, acknowledge the people and things in your life, good and bad, and indifferent. This consideration is not to judge, approve, or reject, but merely to recognize what is present in your life. These are your present fulfillments, the things you have created for yourself, drawing upon the power of unity and the singers, or not, as the case may be. And once you have looked clearly at what is present in your life, you may want to ask yourself, what do you want to change? So the Bright Mother actually does connect to September in the sense of, okay, if you have this clarity of mind, now it's time to open up your intuition to the degree where if you understand where what your intuition is and how your intuition guides you, then what ends up happening is you're able to shine your light bright wherever you go. And if you shine your light bright wherever you go, then you have the ability to understand, hey, I make changes in the world just simply by existing. So even like let's say if I move from one place to another, I'll still make a difference there too. So if we take this energy of September and October in stride, where in September you've made decisions, you've understood that everything is happening for you, or that these times are just a short phase of life, and you'll get through them, later. I mean, you'll get through them really quickly, but that later will come when you need it to. Then you understand that justice is going to be served in some type of way. Maybe not in the month of October, or maybe it will. Who knows? The thing is, it shifts on over into November's energy. And November's energy is the energy of the firefly. So, as we start off with the firefly, which is also the mind, it talks about ideas that aren't really long lasting in a sense. They're there and then they flicker out, just like a firefly. So in the month of November, it's called it's inspiring and fantastic yet fleeting. So you're going to have to catch whatever ideas come in. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high frequency charge cannot be sustained for very long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? So, if you guys have been, for instance, receiving like little messages, for instance, like I don't know, like let's say you're looking at the word firefly, you're thinking about your actions if you should do or die. You're thinking about your thoughts if you should unify, unity within yourself. I don't know. I couldn't really think about anything like that, but like let's say for instance you come out with the flow, right? Write it down. It's fleeting. Guaranteed that in like 2 minutes I won't remember what it was that I said. So that's the exact energy of the firefly. To the degree where if you can harness that creative spirit, you can actually continue and you write it down and you'll have a full verse before you even know it. That's the flow. So, but you have to actually catch it in order to use it. So when you're in balance, you'll be able to write, you'll be able to create, you'll be able to brainstorm. But if you can't, or if you're not in balance, you'll feel burnt out, you'll feel dull of the mind, of the emotions, and it'll be necessary for you to recharge yourself. How do you bring that into balance? Well, you write a poem, or you draw, or you do something creative, right? You find ways to draw out that creative energy in you because when it comes to that, you're powered by spirit. So that seems to be quite well the energies of November in the sense that you're going to be using this creative energy, this creative spirit that you've built up between September and October. And then you're going to be, in some way, shape, or form, capturing that magic in November, possibly even expressing it. Who knows? The Epona's Wild Daughter popped out. And so Epona's Wild Daughter is talks about inner shadows, nightmares, depression, madness, and growth. So those things might rear their ugly heads in the month of November. And understand that you have the power to fight that. So Epona's Wild Daughter, Dorcha, right here, who is the Sphinx whose riddles must be answered lest we otherwise be destroyed by our own internal conflicts. Dorcha reminds us that we cannot go forward until we have faced something buried, and that actually is described in the energy of September. So her presence in a reading tells us that finding and working through this is a task of some urgency. We can expect help, but must be open to these difficult questions and answers, and be ready to face things about ourselves that we are not, or that are not as we would wish them to be. She urges us to heal the unresolved issues about who we really are and what we truly want to be. This is part of the required course in self-transformation 101 that we are all enrolled here on planet Earth to do. The answers to her riddles often come in a sudden burst of enlightenment, like the solution to a Zen koan. We may watch a leaf fall or catch a glimpse of the tiny sliver of a new moon in the sky and suddenly be hit by the question. Suddenly be hit by the answer. Before that happens, we usually work long and hard upon the question, searching and digging for answers. And there's that clarity aspect that I was telling you guys about. The realization when we really have it will be transformative. We will no longer be the people that we once were. You don't like this interpretation? Well, I have been telling you all along that we, you and I, and everyone else, will all receive varying messages. Keep in mind, this is the month of November. From the fairies and the cards. You may well differ from mine. Ask Dorcha what messages she has for you, and don't be surprised if her answer is another question or riddle. She and I both wish you well in solving it with all our hearts. This energy right here is actually tied to the energies of the fairies who was kissed by the pixies. Number 21. Okay. So, love given, love received, metaphorical open heart surgeries. So, this does speak about love and about giving it and receiving it. And so, this fairy Morna is a queen of love, all kinds of love, brotherly love, sisterly love, parental, friendly, unconditional, or conditional, either or both. She tells us it takes perfect people to have a perfect love, but we, imperfect as we all are, may have many loves. Each one perfect for who we are and for what we need now. These loves may not feel perfect. They may not look perfect from the outside, but they fit us now. If we don't like them, she shrugs. Well, we need to change ourselves so that a different kind of perfection fits us. Here we see Morna in her role as a heart surgeon, using the power of love to help us open our hearts when we have closed them out of fear, helping us to expand and become more of what we have the potential to be. Yes, it's true. Having an open heart, being willing to love and be loved makes us vulnerable to loss and grief. But Morna assures me and us, and I believe her with what she says, that once a heart is truly and fully open, even the deepest grief becomes bittersweet, like dark chocolate. And there is no pain in that, or there is no pain that is not balanced by the greater joy of love. So, what does she stand for? Well, in a reading, what can you say here? Love, sweet love. Accept it, burnish it up, add to it, and pass it on. The presence of the fairy who was kissed by the pixies suggests giving and receiving love and intimacy in any of a variety of relationships. She gives notice that this is a time to open and heal our hearts. Different aspects of life may be flowing happily together, healing separations and hurts from the past. Bonds may take place and deep feelings emerge. Changes for the better may occur in all aspects of life, but especially in relationships. Ooh, looks like November is going to be a very, very interesting month. So you're going to have to be open to the healing, Capricorn, because generally when you have the Emperor in the reverse, the more negative aspects of it come out. So being arrogant, um, being childish and immature, and things of that nature tend to pop themselves out when the Emperor is in the reverse. So I feel like there is a necessity for you to understand that because this type of energy requires unconditional love or giving love and receiving love, that's the way that you reach the 10 of Cups. Be careful not to be childish. That's what I'll say there. Okay. So, two things that we got to tell ourselves. I give myself the care and attention that I deserve. Okay. So we got to give ourselves the care and attention. So it's not just giving others the love. We also got to give ourselves the love here in November. I feel it's like a continuation of the energy from September and October, but it doesn't really feel like it. It feels like an evolution, if that makes any sense. And my nature is divine. I am a spiritual being. There you go. So generally, if you understand this energy, then you would understand that as you understand yourself to be a divine being, then you give yourself the care and attention that you deserve. The threes are fully supporting that. So you have 999933, and actually 333. So the month of November and December are connected in the fact that the universe is saying yes, yes, move on, move on ahead, do what it is that you had planned to do. Interesting. And the fact that there's the Three of Wands and the Four of Wands, that's like, looking out for your results and then actually getting your results. So in the month of November, really do the work, really understand what it is that like keeps you down and all of that, and don't act in a mature manner. I feel that if you do, you're going to miss the entire the entire point of what this time period is meant for you to do. Okay, so hmm. Ooh, it's already late, 5 in the morning. I haven't even gone to sleep yet. So let's finish up this reading, and then, well, I'll catch you guys again for the next reading after that. But here we go. The Nightingale. You know what? I noticed that all of these animal spirit cards were air cards. So I'm going to go ahead and read the description in the book for the air cards. So, in understanding the decks, if you have creatures of the air or you have creatures of the sky, they move quickly and decisively. So that's actually what we've been talking about here is decisive action and things like that. The the whole point of this till the end of the year, and also you have the hawk right here at the bottom of the deck as well, is to see more than others, and this can lead to a powerful and discerning qualities. So that should help you in the month of December, even though the uh, Titan the Sylph is in the reverse. I feel that you're still going to be able to see clearly. You just might have a little bit of confusion towards the end of the year. Air creatures love movement and mobility, but the speed at which they move often leaves them ungrounded. Several air cards indicate too much movement and not enough earth. Some people describe this as living in the head rather than the body. It's difficult to make a big decision or remember our greater purpose when we lose our groundedness. So do whatever you must to reconnect to the physical realm. Slow walks in nature will help you get your feet back on the ground. So yes. So a lot of this stuff going on here really does have to do with the mind and how we move forward with that, what we're thinking about, um, ideas and concepts and things like that. That's what was happening till the end of the year. Yeah, I actually get a better idea now. Very interesting. Okay, so now we move on to the Nightingale. And the Nightingale is almost like a call out to the universe, like expressing yourself. So fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. This whole thing carries this like artistic vibe to it. So for anybody who is feeling the vibe of creating music and poems and things like that, as I mentioned before, this reading is just do it, storytell, write your poems, write your soliloquies, your everything. Whatever it is that you have here in your mind, and the more raw and authentic, the better. Just get it out. Get it out. I feel that in the month of December is the month where all of this is going to happen. I can go ahead and take a look at the ephemeris here, and I can go ahead and take a look at the months and see what December brings us, because December is actually pretty interesting. It's like you're no longer in your head in the month of December. You're actually coming out of your head, Capricorn. Okay, so let's see for the month of October, December. Okay, so Pluto is going to be at Pluto is going to be at the end of Pisces. or rather, Pluto is going to still be in the sign of Capricorn. Uranus is going to be reversed. So, in a sense, it's like we might not have a clear idea of who we are by the month December. By the time that December hits, but we will have an idea of how to be honest with ourselves, and we will be aware of the changes and things like that. There's a big change going on. We all know it, and in a sense, the world card right here is showing us. But we have to understand how to place ourselves into a different perspective in order to understand, well, not just how to be honest with ourselves, but also how to discern, clarity and truth from lies and various different things, so that we can move on them, right? So that we can make a decision, but at the same time, so that we can ponder our choices and find out, okay, what is it that we want? The cards for here is Three of Swords above. I mean, the Three of Swords, and it's clarified by the Two of Swords. I am creatively inspired by the world around me. So definitely in the month of December, take walks, allow yourself to be grounded. I mean, don't even wait till December. Start doing that already, right? I am a powerhouse. I am indestructible. Yeah. So there's a lot of nines here, definitely portraying the idea of being confident, being secure in yourself. And because we have a lot of that air energy here, I want to go ahead and flip this card here. Ah, there's that grounding energy. Yep. So the deer. Let me go over to the deer. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me finish with the nightingale. So the song of the nightingale is otherworldly. The simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of other birds, transports to its listener to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. And actually, it does. There's a whole lot of different artists out there that say that music was their therapy. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, let it out. So, definitely, it is about letting things out here in the month of December. Let's see, where is Mercury? Okay, so then Chiron is in Cancer at that point, I think. Yeah. You have oh yeah, there's a for those who have Mars in fifth house, Chiron will be in conjunct your Mars in Aries. Generally, the idea is being able to bring in that masculine energy, but also like bringing in the knowledge and just making sure that this arrogant energy that shows itself up in November doesn't pop out, because then that'll be a real big setback. I'll just put it that way. So when in balance, you'll sing and you'll speak freely with kindness, so not with arrogance. When it's out of balance, you'll be shy or you'll feel like you have a lump in the throat. And how do you bring this into balance? Music. So if we take these energies, we start to understand, hey, this is interesting. The ending of a cycle here in December, the the call to be more honest with yourself, or at least be honest with yourself, so that when other people try to inject or inflect or do whatever, you have the ability to say the truth. You have the ability to understand how best to share that truth without being scared. Okay, so in the reverse, fluttery, fickle, fly by night, reliable, ha. You must be joking. Okay, so in the month of December, be reliable. Okay? Be reliable to the degree where People not only understand your worth by your skills and your abilities and how you express them, but also by your integrity. That's what I'm getting there. Let's see. Who else? Hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much everything there. I'm gonna go ahead and read the deer now and see what this energy has to do with what we've read so far, what we've seen so far, what's been discussed, and we'll go ahead and find out why the deer spirit is here. It's the deer spirit that's going to be a grounding and balanced energy for you. There it is. Cool. The deer, loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. So the deer represents the feminine aspect of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but it is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing and calm. Their inner beauty radiates a sense of grace, calms the room, and it calms the room. So, grace and tenderness is about the receptive principles, the compassionate principles, and the nurturing principles. So, when you have it in balance, this is what you're going to share to the world. When it's out of balance, you'll be concerned and you'll be protective. But to bring that out into balance, just take a walk in nature or be around children. They actually have the sense of being able to help us to break free from our mental prisons, I guess you could say. So we're gonna go ahead and start flipping these ones right here because, well, actually, I'll go ahead and throw these, see where they land. Okay, so on the singer of intuition, the hermit, and in between the world and honesty. Okay, so we flipped the affirmation card because this should help us with this energy here. So the hermit, showcasing the sun with Neptune in the reverse, Mercury in the reverse, and Pluto in the reverse. The best way to understand this energy is just to express yourself. Express whatever it is that you've come to a detail of. I feel like that's the first portion or how you can balance that energy out. Over here, you have the 4 on the singer of intuition, and you have the 3 and the 12. So the 4 stabilizes stability and pragmatism and things of that nature. And the 12 is just to signify that in terms of intuition, you're going to have to trust Jupiter. Jupiter will reveal whatever information you need to know during the month of October because there is a necessity for you to understand these details so that you can move forward with grace and clarity and not in violence or in fear. And then the 3, what's left, is proper communication and things of that nature. Um, I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing happiness. That's interesting because that's the energy you see here with the 10 of Cups in the month of November. The idea that the happiness that we feel today, or that we choose to feel happy today, really is dependent on us. In the 10 of Cups, the family is actually headed towards the house. And in the sense, when you think about it, they're choosing to be happy. I mean, they probably don't have a car, but they're still choosing to be happy. You know what I mean? And so, hmm, that's a very interesting one. Hmm, very, very interesting. Hmm, very interesting. Okay, so Virgo energy between the honesty card and the world card. There is the necessity for you to bring out this fire energy, whether it's Aries or Leo, doesn't really matter. But I feel like because we're shifting into the Leo portion of our chart, that we should have the energies of that Virgo head into Leo. Whatever it is that you learn, whatever it is that you discuss, and whatever it is that you tend to draw from these readings, not just that, but also how you draw your honesty out, that is going to have to take courage, but it's also going to have to take action. And that's why it appeared right there, right next to the World card. Something's coming to an end. You feel it, Capricorn, and it's time to make the choice. So, being creatively inspired by the world around you and understanding that you are a powerhouse and an indestructible person, that's going to inflate you so good, and it's going to make you feel like you're $1,000,000. So, last thing we'll do now is we'll go ahead and flip these Ace to the King. Yeah, that's interesting. So, Ace of Wands to the King of Cups. That's an interesting one. So the Ace of Wands is usually about doing. The King of Queens is, the King of Hearts is usually more like the emotional matters. So do expect a partnership that adds a little bit more value to you when it comes to sharing, sharing anything that would make that situation or that outcome positive. That's generally what the King of Hearts represents. It's very interesting. Hmm. But yeah, the month of December is going to be very, very good. I feel like when it comes to just all these 4 months in general, then there is an there is a propensity to want to fear the situation. But I mean, hmm, we just got to do what we got to do. And so, one thing I do want to point out is this moonstone here. I had it during. I got it during a ritual when I was casting moon spells, and then this euconite here. And the euconite is a very good property of healing and things like that, and like how it's being used and whether it's being used for a good purpose, etc., etc. So, um, I think that was pretty much it. I hope that it resonated well with you guys. And so, when it comes to the readings, I'm still doing personal readings, so go ahead and message me either here or message me in TikTok, astroseer19, and yeah, we can definitely clear this energy more, but I feel like the universe has provided it as clear as possible, as clear as day, and so with that, we should run with that and understand our science a little bit more. So I want to go ahead and let you guys know that you do have three angels: Archangel Michael, Archangel Haniel, and Archangel what was his name? Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is currently showing himself through our lives to help us heal various different aspects of them. The presence of him is like a warm hug. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says a warm hug and lucky to know you. That's very interesting. Huh. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the reading. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all my supporters. You guys are just too kind. And also for the free read, for the readings and stuff like that, I do them for 17. I will go ahead and post another post that has like my numbers and stuff like that. Um, probably right after I do this video here. But then again, I would have to get, or well, I would no. I think he'd be fine with the loofah. Anyways, um, hmm, full moon. Something about a full moon. Pay attention to that. I think we're actually entering into a full moon soon, if I'm not mistaken. So that ties into the energy of September. And this right here, the Euchanite, ties into the energies of October and November, where you're healing various different aspects of yourself, but culminates here in the month of December. So you guys are awesome. You guys take care and be ready for that new love, whatever that love is, because it's coming. And so, with that, I go ahead and leave you guys, and I will see you guys with the next video, whatever that may be. So, bye for now.